Hello and welcome to Just a Girl and Her Firefighter. I'm Kristi Hilmer, your host. Grab your favorite drink, whether it's coffee, fizz, or maybe something else, and let's dive into the wild, wonderful world of first responder life. We are here to swap stories, share laughs, and tackle those "did that just really happen?" moments. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just figuring this all out, this is the place for you. So kick back, get comfy, and let's have some fun. I can hardly believe it, but we have been at 1 year with Just a Girl and Her Firefighter podcast. And this has been a journey I could never have predicted of what this was going to be like, or the incredible stories I've heard, the people we've gotten to meet, and the community that has gotten to be built from this. I absolutely love hearing from all of you guys out in the community of what this has meant, the different stories that you've related to or seen or heard or learned from. It has been a beautiful, beautiful experience. So to celebrate and honor 1 year of this podcast, we are going to hear from my new friend Tara, and her story is incredible. I am so excited for you to get to hear from her and learn from her and really see what her mission and her company is all about. Because 9/11 really inspired her journey from the beginning. And I just thought this was an incredible episode to honor our first anniversary, but also as we are here remembering 9/11, that this is a phenomenal time to just take a moment to realize where we've gone, how far we've come, and to remember those that have given everything. So I can't wait for you to hear from her and to learn from her story. And here we go. Cheers to 1 year. We've been trying to do this for what I think feels like months now and connected over Instagram, but she's the owner of Flame Decon and has just an incredible story of first responder life and how she's gotten here. So I'm so excited to get to know you better, hear your story. So why don't you just share a little bit about who you are and kind of how you got to where you are and what you do?
Thanks, Kristi. I am so excited to be here and finally be able to chat with you.
Yes, I know. Took a minute.
Yeah. So, born and raised in San Diego. My brother is actually a firefighter in San Diego. So that's kind of how I ended up with this business. But my background is I am a veteran. I was active duty Navy, then worked for the Army and the Marine Corps as a civilian.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
So you just
after
need
that,
Air Force and then you've hit all of
I know,
the
just
branches.
get them all, totally.
Yeah.
Whenever Air Force people tell me that, I'm like, no, you don't go backwards, you know?
Yes, exactly. You're like, I just skipped that one.
Yeah, totally. It's like telling a firefighter to go be a cop, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yes. That doesn't happen.
Totally. But yeah, so was in the military, and when my mom retired, she wanted to have just a small business for a little income and something that she loved to do though. And she'd been asking my brother for one of those Fire Mom stickers forever. And being a busy firefighter, it was, yeah, mom, I want to get that for you, and I promise I will,
Hmm.
So eventually we decided that maybe a gear and gift store for firefighters and their families where they could have access to stuff like that would be great. And then eventually, when she wanted to fully retire, I changed our mission to firefighter wellness. And doing that, I was looking through like, what do we need to bring in to fulfill this mission, right?
Hmm.
And realized that there was stuff out there to clean the gear, clean the apparatus, clean the station, clean everything else but the firefighter, the one who gets cancer.
Right.
So that's what really led me to Flame. Once I dug into the research and realized that like I knew what it would take to bring this product to market,
Hmm.
it was just a calling at that point. It was something that I had to do for my brother and for the fire service.
Absolutely. And you're so spot on too with the like swag, fire swag. There's nothing for the families. I mean, now
Right.
there's a few things, but I'm just like, no, where's my stuff? Like,
I
where's the thing?
know.
And it has gotten me out of a ticket once. I finally got like I think it was a union sticker or some fire sticker. And he put it on the back of my car. We had just moved to Texas. And in California, you didn't have to have the front license plate. or it's like recommended, or I don't really know what the rules were. And so I never had one on the front of my car. And literally, I think it was like day 3 in Texas. Like it was not long at all. I get pulled over and I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like what did I do wrong? And the motorcycle cop pulled me over and he was just like, well, you don't have a front license plate. But we sat on the side of the road for 20 minutes and he told me all the reasons he should have been a firefighter. Because he pulls up and he goes, what station does your husband work at? I was like, how do you know? Like, is that in my driver's license record? Like, I'm so confused because I forgot the sticker was on the back of my car. So anyway, they are helpful.
Totally.
And I
That's
didn't get a
so
ticket.
funny.
I had to go fix it,
Good.
but
He
I
caught you
didn't get a
fast though,
ticket.
3 days.
I
Like,
know. I'm
oh
like, I
my
just moved here.
gosh. Yeah, that's insane.
Yes. How did you know? But
Oh,
anyway, so yes, those are important. But back to firefighter wellness. Yes, I remember there was a time my husband was like, yeah, when we get done with a fire, we are told to take a cold shower because then the pores don't open up and absorb all the toxins because it still seeps through your gear and, all the different things. But there really isn't a ton out there. And that's a huge passion of mine is firefighter wellness because we're just exposed to more, even on the family side, as to what they're exposed to as well. So,
totally. And can I throw my first bit of knowledge at you right here?
yes, yes, I'm
So there's
ready.
so many rumors out there of like, go take a cold shower. No,
Yes,
go take a hot shower. So I
yes.
have talked to the scientists in our field, right, who work with firefighter cancer about this and work with Decon. Because from my point of view, I also have my esthetician license in California from when I was a kid, like
Okay.
right after I got out of high school, right? So just some
Yes.
knowledge of how the skin works. If you get in with those carcinogens on your body, still in your pores, and take a cold shower, it's going to close down your pores on those carcinogens, right?
Yes.
If you get in the shower, immediately take a hot shower before you can get product on your skin that's going to draw those away. It's going to open your pores more and allow them to allow those toxins to absorb in more. So
Yes.
truly, you should take a lukewarm shower.
So
Firefighters should be
there's
taking a lukewarm
nothing.
shower. Yeah, leave your
Okay.
pores right where they are. Um, Shower with flame. Let the activated charcoal draw out those carcinogens, wash them away, and then
Hmm.
if you want to crank up the shower to hot, go for it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, because this is just what they're told to do. And then it also changes from department to department and,
totally. There's no
station to
standard
station.
here. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Interesting. Okay, so then tell us about Flame and kind of what your product is, how it works, and then I'd love to hear kind of the journey of creating a business too. But we'll start with
Yeah.
what it is. How does it work?
Sounds
All the
great.
things.
Yeah, absolutely. So Flame is basically personal care products. We've also come out with a laundry detergent, but
Okay.
shampoo and body wash, a hand soap that's the same formulation as our shampoo and body wash. We just made it with a pump, easier to use. A
Okay.
bar of soap for people who prefer to use bars of soap. Firefighters asked me for a shave soap, so I came out with a shave soap for them. It also has our activated charcoal in it, and we have a laundry
Interesting.
soap as well. So in this, there's activated charcoal products everywhere, right? There have been
Hmm.
for decades now, but every other product out there is using one type of activated charcoal. So it's removing a certain size of carcinogens. The key to
Okay.
removing all sizes of carcinogens is using multiple types of activated charcoal. Because when you're dealing with activated charcoal, different types have different sized pores in them. And then once that activated charcoal gets close to the toxin, it's like a magnet. It draws it in. And as long as that pore is the right size, it's going to go right in there, stick to it, and wash it away.
Hmm.
So let me give you kind of an example so you can, visualize it. So if
Yeah.
you have a carcinogen like soot, that has everything from 0.01 to 1,000 microns in size. If you
Okay.
have an activated charcoal, like coconut activated charcoal, that has super small pores in it. So it'll remove everything under 2 microns. So you're dealing
Okay.
with things like gases, odors, colors. Gases are super important to get off firefighters, right? There's
Yeah.
toxic gases everywhere. So that's amazing for removing the gases. But then if you go back to soot and you're only removing under 2 microns and leaving the rest of that on the skin, you're leaving toxins behind. So Our products have 4 different types of activated charcoal. Our proprietary blend of activated charcoal to remove all sizes of carcinogens, removing all of that soot and all kinds of other toxins on the skin.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
thanks.
That's very, very cool. And have you seen, this would be so hard to collect data on this, but have you seen a reduction or is there any way to track the data of like how this has helped?
So my hope is
Yeah.
that firefighters will never know
How
that
much
it
it's helped.
worked because they
Yes.
don't get cancer. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Exactly. That's what I'm like. I don't
because
know how
I
you
just
test this.
we do have testing though that shows
Okay.
that after a fire, we've had skin swabbing done on firefighters, which is
Okay.
exactly how you should do it because you're not
Yeah.
dealing with testing on gear or testing on oranges or testing on pig skin. You test
Right.
on firefighter skin, then you know exactly what's there and exactly what's not, right? So we've done skin
Absolutely.
swabbing after fire training and after live fire, structure, and wildland.
Okay.
Um, and the swabs after the fire shows exactly what carcinogens are there. The
Okay.
swabbing after using flame shows that carcinogens are no longer detectable on the skin. So it's
Oh,
removed
cool. So it
everything.
has removed everything.
Yeah.
That's a much better way to test it. I was like, how do you test this?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's incredible. That is so cool. Well, how was it kind of starting the business side? Because that's very different than coming from Navy and any kind of military background. So what was that process like?
It's so intimidating going into something like that
Yeah.
and just figuring out every single little aspect of it. I discovered that like activated charcoal is great for removing carcinogens, right?
Yes.
But I wanted to know exactly how that works. So that's when I dug in and spent like 3 weeks digging into the science of it, just like day and night, figuring
Yeah.
out exactly how it works, like I just described to you, and coming up with our proprietary blend. After that,
Hmm.
I was like, okay, this is above my head now.
Yeah, like websites, like I'm working on that right now, building a website and all the different things. I'm like there's a lot.
Totally. And I mean, a lot of figuring out business, I think, is Google and YouTube University, right? Like you
Yes.
go and you research and you figure it out. But
Yes,
when it
trial
comes
and
to this
error.
stuff, yeah. I then went to chemical engineers that developed these types of products and
Okay.
said, verify my research on the activated charcoal first, make sure that like this is the proper way to move forward. And then I worked with them and they verified, said, yeah, this is right.
Awesome.
And then I worked with them to develop our formulations around it to make sure that everything is one, clean ingredients. There's nothing on there that's going to be harmful, going to add toxins to
Awesome.
your skin, anything like that. But also all of the ingredients are working with the activated charcoal to continue getting you clean. And there are no ingredients in there that are going to clog the activated charcoal and keep it from working because that can totally happen
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. Or I branded with a company like 10 years ago and have done so much research in, European model and United States and what's allowed and what's not. And
Totally.
different
Yes.
brands are made like the same brand, but different formulations in
Isn't that
Europe and the United.
crazy?
Yes, I don't
Yes.
understand how that's legal, but that's a
I
whole other
know. Yeah.
conversation. Um, and so it's so cool to see when companies aren't putting the cheaper filler products, like mineral oil and the different things, because your profit margin's bigger, but then
Right.
it's doing
Right.
harm, not good, or making it not work. Because you can have so much good stuff in it, and then three-quarters of the filler, and then it's not doing its job. So that's
Yeah.
incredible. That's so
That's
cool.
exactly it. And yeah, our product is not cheap to make. Water is even the sixth ingredient and
Correct.
all clean ingredients. So it is stupid expensive to make.
Yes.
But it's for a purpose. It's to
Yeah.
help save firefighter lives. So
Yeah.
I've even said like 10 years from now, if a company were to come along and just offer me an amount of money that I couldn't refuse to sell the company,
Hmm.
even if I were to agree to a deal like that, in the contracts would be that they couldn't change the formulations, that everything
Yeah.
there had to stay the same. It's too important, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, how have you seen it grown? Because it's a name, like I've heard of it,
Thank
And I
you.
think a lot of people have heard of it, I would think.
Good.
So, how has the growth been?
It, it's been total bootstraps and slow. So
Like
it's
most business.
right. I mean, you know how firefighters are skeptical of everything,
Oh,
as they should
yes.
be,
Yes.
like
Yeah, they're a hard group of people to crack.
totally. So you take a product like this that's a personal care product, one,
Well,
right?
yeah, because they don't believe in personal care, most of them,
Yeah.
unless it's for their mustache.
Yeah, totally. Yes, 100%. Personal care product one. And then you have, they've been trying to decon for years with different products. I mean,
Hmm.
tea tree shampoo, Old Spice, I mean, you name it, right?
Yeah.
And none of it has truly worked for them. They're like, I use this 3 times and then I'm okay.
Yeah.
So you take another product to them and they're like, this isn't going to work, but I guess I'll try it.
Right, right.
And then they're amazed that they use it and it actually worked with just one wash. So
Yeah.
realizing that how I've grown the business is the first 4 years, I just focused on getting our single use packs into firefighters' hands at conferences,
Mhm.
so that they could try it, use it, love it, tell their buddies, but also go back to their departments and ask for it. Say, hey, you guys should be buying
Absolutely.
this for us. And that's exactly how it's worked. It's exactly how it's grown. I actually, so throughout the years, there have been, many times that I have stopped by different departments or, I go to conferences and have slowly seen the brand recognition grow.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was fortunate to get to stop by a department, a bigger department here in Colorado, stop by two different stations, and both crews, every member of the crew at both stations was like, oh yeah, I know Flame, like I use it.
Awesome.
Blown
That's
away.
so
Yeah.
cool.
I was like, no way.
That's awesome. And a good
Yeah.
reminder for anybody in business, because we have a lot of people that listen to this that are also working on a business or trying to create something, that it does not happen overnight. Like
Oh
it
my
can
gosh,
look on
no.
social media like it happens overnight, but it has not. Like there's so much that goes behind the scenes, but you'll get there if you
Totally.
don't quit.
Absolutely. And it's truly the grind and truly just the slow growth, I think, is where it's at.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
of course we all when we start out want it to go fast, but you have to learn not to compare yourself to any other business and where they're at. Because it
Absolutely.
has been a grind and it continues to be and will continue to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because then we're going to hit who knows what in the world and
Totally.
something will change.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Last year was hard. We barely, our sales were barely up from the year before last year.
Mm,
Um, so where our economy's been, it's been difficult, but we continue to
yeah,
push.
absolutely. And is that all that you do? Is that your main focus, or do you
It
also?
is.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
Very
This is what I
cool.
do full time. Yeah.
Well, let's go back into like your Navy days. My one of my good friends, her son just graduated the Navy boot camp, and so
Oh,
it's so fun. But what inspired military and Navy and all the things that you did?
so after 9/11, I
Uh-huh.
saw one of the very first ships coming back from deployment after 9/11. And this sailor got off and she was giving an interview on TV talking about her experience and fighting in the war on terror and making a difference. And like,
Yeah.
there's just this calling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aw. I love that it's still
it
emotional.
totally is. Yeah.
That's amazing. I know I just came back from a mission trip in the Dominican Republic, and the interpreter nicknamed me Crybaby because I would just cry from all the things, happy things,
Totally.
sad things. So,
Yeah. And it's just,
uh,
it's one of like, I'm so patriotic. And
yeah.
I think a lot of people look at that and are like, what the heck? Like, and it's truly just goes back to like that calling, like I
Yeah,
truly just love our country.
absolutely. So how many years did you serve?
So I just did one enlistment.
Okay.
And then
And that's like 6 years?
so I was actually only in 3 years
Okay.
active duty because I they I was running the last PFT that I ran. I got to the end of the 1.5 miles that the Navy does for their PFT run and suddenly couldn't walk. Like
Oh, wow.
dead in my tracks, couldn't walk. There was so
Wow.
much pain in my hip that I couldn't put any pressure on my hip. I was 25 years old. Like, what's
Wow.
going on? So they
Yeah.
sent me to hip specialists, and as it turns out, I have a degenerative condition in both hips. Um,
Okay.
and my command basically told me like you can um, you know, stay until your enlistment's up at our command. Like they're not going to let you transfer to a new command. Which that was my plan. I had planned on staying my 5 years there. They're like, or you can get out now because they're kicking you out medically, basically. But
Right. Like
we
a
will extend you
medical.
to the end
Yeah.
of your enlistment if you want. Um, and then God, you're gonna keep me crying.
I know. Sorry. I tend to do that.
So so as I was making that decision, they said like let us know.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle of being diagnosed with this hip condition. Um, I had a TAD, like a short deployment to Thailand,
Okay.
with the military, actually attached to the army for that deployment. And
Okay.
girlfriend,
It's okay.
while I was there, my dad dropped dead. And
Oh,
so I came back and was like, I think I'm just gonna get out, go spend time with my
yeah.
family. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that actually plays a big role in oh that plays a big role in what I do too though. Like I
Hmm.
want my brother to be around for his babies.
Absolutely. Was your dad fire?
He wasn't, no.
Okay.
He was a car salesman and dropped dead at work with a customer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thanks.
Yeah, that is hard when you're deployed and have no communication, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I got a Red Cross message and a stranger told me over the phone.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Man. Well, that's an incredible story. And so then you
Thanks.
came back, and then that's when you were, did you say civilian military?
When I first got out, I went to work for the Navy doing casualty calls.
Oh,
When,
because you're like, I know what this felt like,
yeah,
and it
totally.
needs to be a different experience.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
when a military member would die or get seriously injured, I would work with their command to send somebody to do the notification, help them with all of the personal effects, the death benefits, the burial, all of that.
Yeah,
And I found that to be so rewarding, just helping people get through that period of their life. Um,
absolutely.
yeah, and then after that, worked for the VA, helping process disability claims, basically, helping veterans get their disability. Um,
Yeah.
and then worked for the Marine Corps as a family readiness officer.
Okay.
And then after that, I worked for actually a PR agency, global PR agency, doing public relations for Army recruiting.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, your whole career has been about helping families
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
very beginning.
Yeah.
Now we're just keeping families alive.
Totally. We're trying.
Yes. Oh, that's incredible. That's very cool. I literally just yesterday, and I don't know when this podcast will actually air, but just yesterday created a reel on the things we don't talk about in the fire service. And it's death, injury, and cancer. And it's
Yeah.
like we're not talking about them. And there's things we can do. Like we cannot control the uncontrollables. Like we can't control fire. We can't control that they're going to have, hazardous and all the things. But we can control stuff at home and we can control things like personal care and what they're eating. And like we don't do any fragrances in our house because they're a top 10 cancer causing agent. And all the different things. We don't even really do dairy much. And we get our meats like he hunts, and we get our meat from like Good Ranchers or Wild Eats or Pastures Wild something, and different things. And that, washing with charcoal. And then I'm a huge proponent of mushrooms and the legal kind. I'm talking about the
Legal.
legal kind of mushrooms.
Totally.
But just all the things, like I have this 5 blend powder, and I'm like, this is a non-negotiable. Like, you have to do this. This is about cellular health. And,
Yeah.
he just does it
Yeah.
because I make him. But
I do. Yeah. Beef organ protein in my coffee,
Yes,
all of it.
yes.
I hear you.
Yes. I'm like, there are things that we can do.
Totally.
So absolutely. Well, that's incredible.
Yeah, I think another thing to kind of share with, fire families is that it's not just the firefighters that are at risk.
Hmm.
It's been a pretty concentrated study, but a study in the Northeast that shows that children of firefighters are getting
Hmm.
cancer at much higher rates. So I think it's just good to know that so that when you do
Yes,
station visits, you can make sure, hands are washed before food and hands go in the mouth, and that a
absolutely.
decon is done on the kids after you get back and yourself, and
Absolutely. I think I
good to
read that
know.
study or a different or study similar because I was like,
Yeah,
I didn't realize because his bunkers don't come home. Like you
good.
think because that you're safe or that we aren't exposed as much, but it's just you just still are. Like they
Yeah,
still, I don't know how, but it still comes home. And even now we're seeing such a difference in fertility of firefighters. And there's a huge rise in infertility
yes,
and treatments and different things. And so it's like what has been happening and what their bodies go through that translate to home. So I
absolutely.
think it's
And
so important.
absolutely. I think the interesting thing with fertility too is going to be seeing when they look into these studies and actually do studies, is it more the exposures before they get pregnant? Because not being able to get pregnant obviously is fertility issues prior to,
Hmm.
obviously. But
Yes.
we're seeing a much higher rate of miscarriages in female firefighters.
Yeah.
So are these exposures from before and cellular abnormalities from before getting pregnant? Or is this
Hmm.
exposure during pregnancy? Or is it both? We need to learn what that is so that we
Yeah.
can reduce that because it's so high.
Yeah, it really is. And it's almost not possible to talk to a fire family trying to get pregnant and having some sort of, I guess, like difficulties, maybe not the right word, but there's some sort of element.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hmm.
And until you've been through it, you don't realize just how much that can affect your life. I mean, it's
Yeah.
soul crushing to go through. So I had an ectopic. It's soul crushing to go
Mm.
through something like that, or miscarriage, or not being able to
Yeah.
get pregnant, or, yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And another thing we're not talking about.
totally.
We should
Yeah.
just start calling this instead of just a girl and her firefighter. It should be all the things we don't talk about.
Yeah. That's why I'll just throw things at you because I'm with you. I think we need to talk
Yeah.
about things, and the more people will talk about things, the better off we are. And even if it's just somebody opening up and asking their own doctor in a private room,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we are starting to see some things change and, conversations are starting and people are starting to just talk about it because that's really the goal of this whole podcast. It's not like there's any answers that we necessarily have, but it's like, let's just share the stories because it's how we used to live. Like we used to live in communities and villages and depend on each other for survival. And we would learn from our elders. And we've lost that in this,
Yeah,
just fast paced microwaved society of learning and listening. And it was a good reminder coming back from the Dominican Republic as well of, listening to their stories and seeing that they have nothing, but they're still so joyful, but they also are talking about what's hard. And they're
yes,
talking about, like, this is what we've experienced, not for any sympathy, but just this is what human connection is. And I came back and I was talking to a friend and I said, basically, human connection knows no language. Like, you can connect with humans no matter what. And we have
absolutely.
lost that.
It's
So I'm
so
on a
true.
mission.
Yeah, I
Bring it
had
back.
very similar experience when I went to Thailand in that
Yeah.
I mean, the majority of the population is so poor. And
Yeah.
we saw so many people just living in these huts on the side of the
Hmm.
road, and it's well beyond what we consider like a homeless problem here, right?
Right.
But
Right.
those people are still willing to give you the shirts off their back.
Yes.
If not even if you ask for it, it
They're
just
just going to give it to you.
yeah, because they're nice. Yeah.
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 Yes. Like we would go in
They're
and
kind.
Yes, like we would go into these communities and it's literally like no running water, no electricity. Like it's just like a, shingle here and a tarp here, just kind of like modge podged into this home that multiple people live in. And they would, welcome you in and they would have you sit. And we asked the interpreter before we went in, we're like, what do Americans do that are rude that we shouldn't do? And they're like, you have to sit, like take your backpack off and sit down when they invite you in. And they would be turning buckets over or the two chairs that they have and just sitting. And it was just remarkable. Like it was and 100% like a calling. Like these are my
Yeah,
people and I will go back as often as I can go back and take our whole
so
family.
cool.
So
That's so
yeah.
cool. I've gotten myself in a little bit of trouble, not with that cultural, what's rude to do and don't do
Yes.
it. Um, when in Thailand, there was these Thai guys had invited me and one of my best friends down to like have lunch with them under these trees,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Which in America, you're like, you're trying to kill me.
Yeah, totally. Yes. You're gonna invite me out into the jungle under some trees where you're having lunch?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
So we came down and they're sharing their food from home with us that they have packed and brought from home.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's rude not to eat it.
Yes. We heard about that with coffee, and they're like, the interpreter will tell you if it's safe or not.
Yeah. Yes. So I take a bite and it's the spiciest thing I've ever put in my mouth. Like
Oh,
there's no way I can finish even what's in my hand.
yeah.
So
I
thankfully
thought
my
maybe it was
friend
going to
was
be like the other end issues.
no. I like could barely swallow the first one.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
look at my friend who's with me and I'm like, and he can just see it. And he grabs that on my hand and finishes it.
I'm like, hi, can
Yeah.
we went to a Thai restaurant once where we used to live in California and they were like, would you like white people spicy or Thai spicy? I'm like, white people spicy. Like,
Yes, please.
I'm not
Yeah.
as cool as you.
Totally not as cool as you. Yeah. I am the weaker species. Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
100%. Yeah, like you get into some interesting situations for sure
Totally.
when
Yeah.
you travel
Totally.
in different cultures, but
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, I'm a wuss when it comes to spice, so
Yeah.
that would not have gone well.
So funny.
Absolutely. Well, this was incredible. I can't think of any other questions. Is there any last little thing that we didn't cover that you're like, okay, people need to hear this?
I don't think so. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, we will do rapid fire questions
Awesome.
and with these. And I've done like a variety of different things this season, but we're just going to shoot off a few random ones. So,
Sounds good.
how do you drink your coffee?
Oh, I drink it with ancestral protein and half and
Okay.
half.
There we go. Now just add some mushrooms.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Actually, I've been adding collagen to that too. So you're right. I
Oh,
need to
yes,
add
like a little
mushrooms on top of
bulletproof.
that,
I know. Just
and then
have a
we're
whole,
good.
and then you'll really be ancestral.
Totally.
Forager coffee. And then what book are you reading? If you're reading a book right now,
Currently, I am not.
what has been maybe the best book you've read or one of your favorite books?
Um, so one of my favorites is Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's an old book, but
Mm-hmm.
it taught me to take risks, and you have to know that for business.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
All a risk.
Yeah.
And then the last question we'll do is what has been the best advice you've ever been given?
Oh gosh.
I know this one's not really rapid fire. It's kind of
Yeah.
rude. Rude
I
of
really,
me to put it in
I
the end.
really should have an answer for this.
It's hard when you're put on the spot. You're like, I don't know.
Totally. Yeah. I think all of it is just in how like my mom raised me. Like,
Hmm.
be honest with people, you know,
Hmm.
treat people how you want to be treated. How it's,
Absolutely.
I think it's just the core moral values that we should all have. I think that just carries through in me that I always revert back to.
Hmm.
Not necessarily some quote or anything like that.
Absolutely. Thank you. And then
Thank
how do
you.
people find you? Is on
Um,
Instagram, obviously, because that's how I found
yeah.
you. But how
Uh,
else?
our website is flamedecon.com.
Okay.
All of our social media is at Flame Decon, and my email is tara@flamedecon.com.
Awesome. Perfect. So they can all go shopping and get their
Yes.
departments to all
Thank
get
you.
Flame Decon.
Yes. Yes.
Save the world.
Yes.
Very cool. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. And I can't wait for everybody to hear this story. It's going to be
Me
awesome.
too. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that conversation just as much as I did. So before we wrap up this episode, I have really exciting news about what is happening right now for all of you in this amazing community with Just a Girl and Her Firefighter. We all know what that feeling is like when we're scrolling through social media. We're listening to our friends, our neighbors, our friends who have what we think is this normal life. And we start to wonder, does anybody else even get it? Like, does anybody know what this schedule is like what we're going through? Or is it just me, all alone, isolated, feeling this way? You know, the missed dinners at the holidays on a Tuesday instead of the actual day, random pickups, like all the different things that happen. Well, you are not alone anymore. And I am so excited to introduce the brand new we just launched. It is a space created specifically for you, partners of the first responders. And it is filled with people who understand, who get it, and have resources and tools available and ready to help. Please join our free community to connect with others who get it. And if you're somebody who needs a little bit more, or you want to dive in deeper, like what is it like to actually live this lifestyle? How can I do this well? What are the resources, the tools, different things that we need access to or just need to dive a little bit deeper into? We have that for you as well. It is our inner circle, and you can upgrade to that at any time. We'll have monthly virtual fireside chats, resources, experts, reintegration strategies, exclusive video content, and so much more. It is constantly evolving because let's be real, loving a first responder is beautiful, but also challenging, and you deserve support just as much as they do. So join us in the community. The app link will be in the show notes below. It'll be posted all over social media, but we cannot wait to have you to join us and to get to know you better. Thank you for listening to Just a Girl and Her Firefighter. It would mean the world to us to have you subscribe, like, share with all the people you love, and join us in our Firewife community. Thanks again, and see you next time.